This review is brought to you by Yinchi, the new game from Spielworxx. Pre-order it now for delivery in March at spielworxx.de. From the kitchen of the cabin, it's the 5 Games for Doomsday review. Skull King. Love is an elusive thing. Sweaty obsessions are 10 a penny, but profound love, the kind of feeling that could propel you to the summit of dizzying euphoria or yank you into the pits of dead-eyed obsolescence, that is rare and vital and perfect, a quintessential expression of our animalistic nature. Never for 1 minute believe that we are somehow separate from the animals. Never fall into the solipsistic trap of thinking that we have hauled ourselves out of the morass of nature. Every moment, our higher brain functions are being pulled in 1,000 different directions by our evolutionary inheritance. If our anger and jealousy and bitterness and spite is the animal in us, so is our joy and tenderness, our charity and our love. Those feelings that we give or selfishly hold on to are all expressions of the animal, because we are animals. Dualistic thought is a delusion. There is no spirit to live on after we die. We remain in both our noble and vulgar aspects rooted to the earth. We are gloriously and repulsively animalistic. There are petty emotions that we feel every day. The annoyance and amusement and frustrations guide our behaviour from minute to minute. But those big ones, those feelings that stop us in our tracks, that render us dumb, they make us the people we are. There are many types of love, not just the one that pumps blood to certain parts of the body. Love, in its simplest expression, is the feeling of being cleaved to something or someone. It doesn't have to be permanent though. Love can be broken off or thaw and drain away. It always tattoos our spirit though, leaves a brand on our memories. Are you wondering what this preamble is for? Well, it's my way of saying, I love Skull King. The 1,000-year history of trick-taking games reaches its apotheosis in Skull King. In its laboured travail from medieval China to the dark forests of Germany, trick-taking has picked up many burrs and carbuncles along the way. Trumps and bidding, from Karnuffel to Triumph to Whist, these games of tricks have played a huge role in human recreation for 1,000 years. We'll never know how many declarations of love, peace, war, and endless enmity have been declared over the simple laying of cards. From pompadoured fops to grizzled men in trenches to corpulent receivers of hereditary privilege, humanity's recent history has been helped along by the riffle of cards and the playing of tricks. Then Skull King comes along. A card game that reaches into the human experience and pulls out raw enjoyment, and it's as perfect as a Paul McCartney fingerpick or flawless as a pure canary diamond. In Skull King, players engage in 10 rounds of trick-taking in which the hand size increases from 1 to 10. Before a card is played each round, players bid on the amount of tricks they think they'll win. Points can only be scored if that guess is right. Otherwise, points are lost. The rules follow the standard lead-follow restrictions, but there are special cards that can be played at any time. These can trump all of the cards played, the Skull King itself being the highest card, or ensure you lose the current trick, making sure you don't exceed your bid. If after 10 rounds you've accumulated enough points, you can gleefully demand you play another round. I've never seen this game fail. There is so much hilarity and schadenfreude and tension and thought and exhalations of air and squeals of delight and roars of disappointment in every game of Skull King that for the sheer experience it delivers, it's as close to being one of the best games I've ever played. To dismiss this game as slight or ephemeral is to make the mistake of confusing serious with important. This is an artifact that is so perfectly put together, so robust and so unfailingly fun that you can do nothing but lean back and nod in quiet admiration. There are trick-taking games, then there is Skull King. There are enough decisions to be made to ensure you're engrossed for the whole time. There are enough failures and glorious successes in the 30-minute playtime to make you anticipate every card lay. There is joy imbued into every facet of this game. It is a beautifully crafted gem that has been polished to a radiant finish. There is so much to love here. This is a game that accommodates up to 6 players wonderfully. It plays quickly but never feels incomplete and can be introduced to anyone of any experience level. Also, like many traditional card games, it's endlessly replayable. I've played it over 100 times and it's still as vital and hilarious as the first time I played it. Skull King is simply everything you want from a game. It is a game that places people around a table in amicable competition and leaves no antagonism or recrimination. This is why we game. It can straddle the self-imposed boundaries and schisms that riddle this hobby. It is a game I love, and a love I won't live to regret. Unlike all the other times, I've indulged myself in that emotion. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/5G4D, or you can tart yourself up by buying a t-shirt from tpublic.com/user/5gamesfordoomsday. And thank you for listening.